All right, let's break down our Thursday forecast. There is a lot going on today, and a pretty active weather day is setting up across North Texas. This morning, not so much. This is the quiet part of the day. We're looking at one of our computer cameras this morning showing extensive cloud cover. Most of us waking up to overcast conditions with temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s. There's a pretty wide range of morning low temperatures, though, and that is all thanks to what's going on to the south and east. There's a stalled boundary right now well south and east of the Metroplex that's the focal point for these early morning showers. A couple of embedded thunderstorms will be possible as these showers are ongoing over the next few hours. Could see some rumbles of thunder, some lightning out of this, but for the most part, no severe weather is expected this morning. Things start to change by about midday, though. This is going to be one of those days you'll want to stay weather aware all afternoon. Make sure that you have a way to receive watches and warnings and know your safe place. Satellite and radar on a wider view showing that extensive shower activity along the boundary well south and east. In fact, there were a couple of stronger storms down near the Austin area earlier this morning. Now those showers are starting to lift a little bit farther to the north. What I expect to see over the next few hours is that boundary that's located to the south and east, separating the cooler, drier air, 50s and low 60s from the warm, muggy 70s. That boundary will start to lift to the north. As that happens, depending on where it stalls, which at this point there's still a little bit of uncertainty with where that boundary in the form of a warm front stalls later this morning through the first part of the afternoon. But that'll likely be the focal point. If we see a few isolated supercells develop, they will have the potential to produce tornadoes and very large hail. But again, this is a conditional threat. That's why I keep saying if we see those initial storms develop out ahead of the third part of this forecast, the main line of showers and storms in the form of a squall line. It'll likely be a wavy squall line as it moves into our western counties and then likely into the Metroplex between about 6 and 7 o'clock. So 3 separate parts to today's forecast. The first, early morning showers, not really impacting us this morning with the exception of our far southeastern counties. The second part of that forecast, the potential for those isolated supercells near the warm front later this morning, right around midday into the first part of the afternoon. So between about noon and 3. And then the third part of that forecast is that squall line, that line of strong to likely severe storms that'll be moving through North Texas later this afternoon and throughout the evening. This dew point forecast is showing the moisture returning across the majority of North Texas through the rest of the morning and then into the afternoon. As that moisture returns, we fuel the air with more moisture. That will allow for the air to become a little bit more unstable across North Texas, placing us under what's called the warm sector of that system. So again, early morning showers confined to our southeastern counties. By about midday through 3 o'clock this afternoon, if we see those isolated supercells develop, that'll be when we see them. And then later this afternoon, after about 3, 4 o'clock, we see that line of storms moving into our western counties, moving into the Metroplex between about 6 and 7. This is our short-range convective model that at this point has still produced those isolated supercells out ahead of the main line of storms. That's what I'm becoming increasingly more concerned with. If we see those initial storms develop, they will have the potential to produce tornadoes as well as very large hail. Then after 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon, that line of storms forms out west, moves into the Metroplex anywhere between 6 and 7 o'clock this evening. And that line of storms will also have the potential to produce all modes of severe weather. But it does become more of a wind threat as that line of storms move through. So again, if we see the initial isolated severe storms form, they will have the potential to produce tornadoes and large hail. And then on your forewarned 7-day forecast, as the main squall line moves through later this afternoon into this evening, that becomes more of a high wind threat, likely seeing gusts between 70 and 75 miles per hour, as well as the potential for spin-up tornadoes. And then we clear those showers out of here tonight. I do think we see some wraparound moisture as the back edge of that storm moves through, but no severe weather is expected after midnight. Just a few showers, kind of a chilly rain on. We top out in the 60s by tomorrow afternoon with a whole lot of sunshine returning. Chip.